To this, the Utah Jazz get a bounce back win against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are resting 8 of their players. No Lou Dort, no Josh Giddey. I was excited to watch Giddey. He was not playing tonight, but we did get to watch Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Tre Mann, so that was interesting. Anyways, before we get into this, I just wanted to say I think we're going to shorten the length of these videos. My last video, it's funny, I learned things about this channel by mistake every time. Literally, these live streams were not intentional. It was just something I did one time, and people really liked it, and so we just started doing it, and so it evolved. But anyways, last video, it was one of the worst videos I've done all year. It was the worst. You could go watch it. It was bad. But it was like 10 minutes long and got more views than my last like 10. So, and why? Because I think it was shorter. Typically, these videos have gone like 30 minutes and we went 10 and it went much better. And I think part of that is because guess what? If I'm going 10 minutes, I'm getting to the point quicker, you know? And so I will still try to interact with the chat. And I know people love these to go long. Sometimes we'll have to figure it out, but I think I'm going to try to just condense these a little bit, probably 15 minutes or less. And I will try to interact. If people donate and things like that, obviously I will interact, but I think these just need to be a little shorter because we go really long, and that's just what I'm going to do. Anyways, guys, let's get into this. The Utah Jazz gonna get a win against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who by the way had some talent and had some guys that I've never heard of, like Vit Krejci. I think he's played like 8 games in the NBA, and he got 20 minutes against the Utah Jazz. I don't know if he's an NBA player. Theo Maledon has just not been great in his career, and he got 18 minutes. So the Jazz should have won this game. First off, I just want to talk about Lesky. I can't even remember if I'm saying that first name right, but Pokuševski. Poku, he is the tank commander. Every single 3 he took, the Utah Jazz were super happy. 0 for 5 from 3. This is the tank commander, and this game would have been closer had he not taken those shots. Like if Lou Dort was in this game, this might not have been the score. But Pokuševski is helping the Thunder get a good pick. I don't know, OKC Thunder fans, let me know in the comments what you think about Poku, but I think kind of the idea of Pokuševski is better than the reality of Pokuševski. And what do we do on this channel? We stay with realities. And right now, I just don't know if I see it with Poku. I mean, maybe he'll figure it out. It's just when he gets that shot off, it doesn't go in. He was 6 for 15 from the field. He had a few nice buckets in transition, but not great. Interestingly enough, though, he had 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and he was only a -2 in a game that the Thunder lost by just, by like 13. So who knows? Maybe he's impacting the game in other ways. He does have length and size, so that's fantastic. But the shot's got to start falling at some point for him to get there. And maybe it will. Maybe it will, but tonight it wasn't, and I think he's helping them get a good pick. I was excited to watch Tre Mann and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander tonight, and honestly, those two were the guys that made me nervous about this game. Tre Mann has been playing really well. I think he's averaging 18 points in his last 7 games, something like 3 assists per game in the last 7. He had a 30-point game like a week or 2 ago, and I was kind of nervous a little bit that this had some trap game potential for the Jazz because Tre Mann is a guy I loved in the draft. This Thunder team has just drafted well. Josh Giddey, the Thunder didn't get that number 1 pick like they wanted. They end up getting like 4th or 5th. I can't remember what it was. And they end up getting arguably the 3rd or 4th best player in the draft in Giddey, who looks fantastic. And he might end up being the best. Who knows? He's fantastic. He didn't play tonight, so that was a bummer. I wanted to watch him. But he's a nice player. But anyways, tonight, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander plays 38 minutes. He was phenomenal. He's incredible at like getting to his spots. He's got that mid-range game. The 3-point shot isn't falling quite as much this year, but we're learning, just because you don't shoot a 3-point at an elite level doesn't mean you can't be an incredibly effective NBA player. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is just that. He's fantastic. Obviously, it wasn't falling tonight again. I think he's like 29% for the year. But he did have 8 assists and 7 rebounds, 33 points, and he just kind of got to wherever he wants. He gets to wherever he wants, and he's got size, and he can actually defend when he wants to as well. He's impressive. So 38 minutes for him. He's just fantastic. Honestly, if the Thunder ever want to trade him to the Jazz, I'd be doing that in a second. I was excited to watch Tre Mann, and Tre Mann looked like a rookie today. 25 minutes, 2 for 13 from the field. He could not hit a 3. This was part of the reason why he struggled. 6 points, a -30. That was the worst for the Thunder. So Tough night for Trey Mann, but he's been showing some really nice things for them, and I have hopes for him to be really good. That's my thoughts on the Thunder. Let's get into the Utah Jazz. First off, the story of the game is Bojan Bogdanovic. Bojan Bogdanovic had just his fingers were burning. You know how in Men in Black, they like Bojan's fingerprints were melted. His hands were so hot tonight. He was just absolutely throwing fireballs. By the way, X marks the spot for Zintas. Member for 5 months. All-star level as well for Zintas. Thank you, Zintas, for being a part of the channel. Good bounce-back win for the Jazz. Awesome for Bogey, setting a new three-point record. Let's talk about it. Bojan Bogdanovic melted his own fingers tonight. Let's hope they're still capable of shooting tomorrow. Maybe he'll just keep shooting threes and never miss again. Maybe that's Bojan's new, that's his new, I don't know, that's his new strategy, and I'm here for it. Just make every single shot, and I'm happy with it. That's good coaching, right? Quinn Snyder just tells Bojan, go shoot the ball and make 11 threes, and Bojan's like, all right, I will do that. And then he did. And tonight he was 11 for 19 from the field, but he was 11 for 18 from three, 35 points, 5 rebounds. He did have 3 assists. He was a plus 15. ESPN Stats and Info on Twitter put out a interesting stat. This is the first time a player has made this many shots, and all of them were threes. So he did not make a single 2-point shot tonight. Every single make was a 3, which is phenomenal. I mean, I am here for the new strategy from Bojan Bogdanovic where he makes every single 3 he takes. I don't know about you guys, but I personally am okay with that. I was okay with that. The other guy we got to talk about, and this is something I got to mention, I am pretty darn excited about Donovan Mitchell and what he's doing. Get Donovan Mitchell the ball. Put the ball in his hands. Why? 10 assists tonight in the last 3 games, and honestly, we should probably forget the Pelicans game. That was just pain and sadness for everyone involved. All of us watching that was pain. It was pain for everyone in the game recap, on the line, everywhere. It was just sadness in the streets. But guess what? Of the last 3 games, 2 of them, the 2 that counted, because we're forgetting about our pain and sorrows against the Pelicans, 10 assists for Donovan. Let's do the math in my head really quick. 22, that's 22 assists in the last 3 games because he went 10 to 10. How's that for memory? Come at me! Come at me! 10 to 10. 22 divided by 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Oh, great. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. That's like 7.5 assists per game in the last 3 games. Give him the ball. And more than just give him the ball. Give him the keys to this car. Give him everything. Give it all to Donovan. He's proven it. He can do it. The fact that Donovan Mitchell comes into these seasons and every single year he's doing something better. It's impressive. The work he does in the offseason when he doesn't need to. He's got the max contract already. And he comes in and he just gets better. He's playmaker now. We got Donovan Mitchell able to go out and do 10 assists 2 times in the last 3 games. I don't believe he's done that anytime before this game. I think he's probably had about 1 or 2. Someone go check it for me if you want. I don't have time. We're trying to keep this down, like I said. Remember? Kenny just says right there, 7.3 assists. There you go. 7.3 assists. That's good stuff. And he's only getting better. And when Bojan makes every single shot he makes or takes, give him the ball. Donovan Mitchell was slanging it tonight. Mike Conley did not play, and no one noticed. Now, defensively, things could have got better, but there was a 1 possession with Donovan Mitchell's defense. It was like, holy smokes. Holy smokes. It was interesting. I was kind of hoping, Tony Jones actually tweeted with this, and I actually hoped for it as well. Quinn Snyder started Trent Forrest, and it did not go well. 6 points, 2 for 6 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3. Nice to see him hit that 3. He did have 6 assists. I guess the plus minus is there, so maybe what do I know? The biggest, you know what? Let's not be too hard on him because the defense is there with Trent Forrest, and that's one reason why I am such a big Trent Forrest fan, and his ability to score. Although offensively, it was pretty rough tonight. Pretty rough. Ezekiel, 10 assists against Houston. Go look who Houston beat tonight. That might have been a better win than we thought. But anyways, Trent Forrest offensively, it was not great, although he did have the 6 assists and he was a plus 21, so that's a credit to his defense for sure. But I was kind of hoping that Quinn would start, instead of Trent Forrest, just have Trent Forrest come off the bench and start Daniel House so that you just give the ball completely to Donovan Mitchell. Ezekiel's in the blue crew, by the way. The blue crew. That's what we're going to call it. Not what everyone's saying. Not what everyone's saying in the chat. I can't say that. But you can say it. I was just kind of hoping because I personally am just very pro giving the keys to Donovan and letting him drive this Ferrari. You know what I mean? Give him the keys to the car because we're now seeing that he can do it. He can just be the guy. And then if you have guys on the floor that can just move the ball, fantastic. I think Quinn likes to have two ball handlers. Speaking of the blue crew, but two ball handlers on the floor that can run a pick and roll. And I don't know if it's completely necessary as long as you have other guys that can go score. Now, it might be asking too much because if you have Donovan Mitchell on the floor and then you just have Daniel House, Royce O'Neal, Bojan Bogdanovic, and Rudy Gobert, you don't really have anyone else on the floor that can run a pick and roll and stuff like that. I guess, and obviously Quinn wants to have two playmakers on the floor at the same time. That means that Trent Forrest's on the floor, I guess, when Mike Conley's not playing. I don't know if I love it. But it went pretty good tonight, although I don't know if it went great. The Jazz only win by like 11, 12 points. I don't know. We did see Gilgeous-Alexander Walker tonight. It didn't go too great. He was a +7, though. And you could see some of the potential with his size. He got fouled twice, went to the free throw line and scored. But he is in that role, I guess, where he gets 5 minutes and the front office said we want to see him play, so Quinn plays him for 5 minutes and then pulls him off the floor. That's the role he's in. We've seen many players in that role, and it's a weird role. Let's see. I think that's everything. Well, let's talk about two players, and then we won't go too long tonight because we're trying to keep it to 15 minutes, okay? But anyways, Key himself, $2. Thank you, Key. I appreciate the $2 donation. You are the man, Key. Key's still the one that is the only one to ever just completely derail the show. $2. Was hoping Butler got playtime today. House was a steal. Absolutely. Agreed on both counts. I would like to see Jared Butler, although he might have been out for injury. I'm not quite sure. I think tonight was a night to give Gilgeous-Alexander Walker some minutes. That's honestly what it felt like. They wanted to see what he could do. And for 5 minutes, he got to play with the starters. And I don't know if that's enough time to really get a grasp on a guy, but I don't know. I guess we could run some film on it. It's only 5 minutes, so it won't take that long. The body language tonight from Hassan Whiteside was super weird. It was super weird. There was one play when one of the Oklahoma City Thunder players was shooting free throws, and Donovan Mitchell was on one side of the free throw line. Hassan Whiteside was on the other. Donovan was trying to get Hassan Whiteside's attention. He was saying White, Hassan. And Hassan was either ignoring him or jawing with a fan. But the body language from Whiteside was just not great tonight. It was really bad. And the play tonight was really bad. And you can just see it in the plus minus. It was -13. There was another play where Jordan Clarkson had the ball. Hassan Whiteside was in the post. And in Whiteside's defense, it was against a mismatch. And Whiteside probably scores easily, honestly. And Clarkson passes it out to Donovan Mitchell, who ended up scoring. You're right. It says it right there. DMP coach's decision. DMP stands for dare we ask why Quinn never plays this guy. Anyways, it was really not great. The other guy, Jordan Clarkson, scored 20 points tonight, but was a -11. But that might have been because he was sharing the floor with Whiteside, who was just not great. There's been good games from Whiteside recently, but tonight was not one. And it was really just kind of a body language thing. I think there's some weird thing there. The team, I know they won tonight, but there's some weird vibes going on. Isn't that what the kids say? There was just some weird vibes. And honestly, we've seen Doak play well. Doak is a legitimate option. Anyone who says you can't play Doak, he's not playable, that is not a true statement. Doak is solid. DWCB, DMP, don't need performance. There you go. I don't know. I know did not play because Coach Quinn doesn't like him. That's what it is. I don't like you. Because honestly, is there anything we saw from Hassan Whiteside tonight that made you think that Udoka Azubuike wouldn't be a better option? And we've seen Doak play really good minutes. Doak legitimately won a game this season for the Jazz with his energy. I think it was against the Thunder, or not the Thunder, the Warriors. I can't remember, but he legitimately, like, it was like one of those times where you're like, if Doak plays well, we win this game. If Doak does not, we lose. And Doak came out and won the game. He played great. So Doak is a legitimate option, and I don't know why. I don't know. Why didn't Hassan get benched tonight, to be honest? I don't know. It's weird. The other guy we got to talk about, Rudy Gobert, was amazing again tonight. The defense was superb, like it always is. He should be, I don't know if he's going to, but he should be 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. Elite, incredible, dominant player. But we got to talk a little bit about something about the offense for Rudy. I counted it tonight. I watched it carefully. Rudy Gobert had 6 times this game where he got the ball in the paint. I think 4 of them were for like entry passes, whether for like a post up or in the paint. And then I think he got like 2 in transition or 2 in semi-transition. Of those 6 opportunities, he scored once. And it was on a post move. That means 5 times Jazz players got him the ball and it ended badly. I think 3 of them were turnovers. Let's see. They have him for one, like, this is just why sometimes I don't trust the stats. I mean, let's watch this one turnover just to see, for curiosity. Because I think this will help tell the story. See, look. So Rudy Gobert gets the ball. Oh, okay. Yes! This is exactly what I want to talk about. This is the first play of the second half. We're going to do this because I'm going to get demonetized if I put it on too long. I know how you work, YouTube. I figured it out. But anyways, so this is the first play of the second half. It is a designed play to get Rudy Gobert the ball in the post. And let's watch what happens. This is a set play. They planned this. Okay, Rudy Gobert sets the fake screen at the top, goes inside, works out.
There's a crowd on Gobert. You see the double team and
what was that? What was that? I don't have all the others, and we're not going to spend all night looking for them. But that was an example of what those 1 for 6, 1 out of like those 6 opportunities. It's just not there, guys. He was open for that. This is like a must make. How this is like just not even that hard of a make. Look at this. He's wide open. Dunk it. What was that? I just want to end tonight talking about reality. What we as Jazz fans and Jazz media and people who cover the Jazz and even the coaching staff and maybe Rudy himself need to talk in reality versus like hopes and dreams. Sometimes you have to have a reality check. I hear on so many different podcasts on different things I listen to. I don't listen to everything. I don't listen to David Locke. I don't want any of that in my life. But I do listen to Andy Larson on the Trib podcast. By the way, shout out to Andy Larson. Go subscribe to How About That Jazz. Good podcast. Good job, Andy. Everyone go do that. Everyone go tell Andy that I sent you to go listen to his How About That Jazz podcast. Everyone go tell him. All right? It's a good podcast. But all these podcasts out there, I will hear people give thoughts and takes and feeling. And one of the things I hear from a lot of people is that if Rudy Gobert got the Jazz missed him inside for an open, easy dunk at the rim. We see it all the time, right? And we get it all over Twitter and all over the airwaves. Everyone's saying, hey, they missed him. They should have got him the ball. If only he could do this. And if they just get, France in the Olympics, if they gave him the ball and they made him a focal point. We hear all these things. It's just not based in reality, guys. It's not based in reality. I'm here about reality, the truth. I don't want to talk about hypotheticals. All right? It's just not reality. Now, does this mean that Rudy Gobert is not an elite dominant player? No, because Rudy Gobert is an elite dominant player. In the pick and roll, Rudy Gobert is fantastic. Dort was out tonight. They had him out for injury. OKC rested like 8 players tonight. By the way, Rudy Gobert had 6 opportunities. It was against an OKC team who is tanking. They rested 8 players, and it didn't work. It didn't work. It's just not there. And someone in my Twitter comments was saying, well, he's just got to get better. And one other person said, well, if you were Rudy Gobert and you worked your tail off so much on defense and then they didn't give you the ball, then wouldn't you be mad too? Well, first off, Rudy Gobert has 45 million reasons why he should be happy with whatever the Jazz decide to do on the court. All right? All right? Can we please base things in reality? Can we base things on what we see with our eyes? Because every one of you guys who's on this channel watches it. I watch it with you. We all watch it. We all see it. Can we base it in reality? Please. Please. Stop this narrative. It's okay that he can't do it. All right? What he needs to, because guess what? Even with that, even with the fact that out of those 6 opportunities, he only scored one, only one good thing happened. 5 bad things happened. Even with that, Rudy Gobert was a plus 26 and he was 5 for 8 from the field. This was 1 post move and 4 offensive rebound putbacks. There is nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. And also, it doesn't mean that I'm not saying don't have Rudy Gobert score, because when Rudy Gobert scores, it's always in great situations. Offensive putbacks, fantastic. That's turning a bad shot into efficiency on offense. It's great. It's one of the most important shots in the game, if we're being honest, is the offensive rebound putback. It's incredibly valuable. I know it's not sexy. I know it doesn't show up on ESPN. I know it's not, going to get you on, one of those aggregator Twitter accounts and StatMuse and all these people. No one cares. But guess what? It wins you basketball games. And that's all that matters in the end, right? Right? It's all that matters. I'm trying to go quick and I'm still going long here. How long have we gone? I don't even know. The other thing you need to do is get him in the pick and roll, because he's great. He is absolutely great. But outside of that, he just needs to be in the dunker spot and then going for offensive rebounds. If he's not in the pick and roll, stop doing it. Now, if Rudy Gobert is wide open under the paint, or if he's got someone really, really small, then you can get it to him and he can score. But even then, it's not a for sure thing. So this is my hope and prayer, is that we can stop this narrative. Stop. Okay? Stop. More Rudy Gobert pick and rolls. More Rudy Gobert offensive putbacks. No more entry passes in the paint. It's just not. If it's there, great. If he's wide open, awesome. But stop making it the focal point of a play. We saw it's not there. It's just not. And yes, we could talk about, yes, if where is it? I can't see it. If Rudy Gobert can get this and just go up quicker, great. Sure. This is just not even hard. That shouldn't have been up. It's just not in his arsenal. All right? If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, all right? But I'm here for reality. It's like we said in college, or it's just like a reality check. If she's not answering your texts or your phone calls, she's probably not into you. All right? Yeah, move on. Move on. Okay? Move on. Reality. Reality. Real. I want what's real. Reality. No more hypotheticals. No more hypotheticals. Reality. Reality. Give me reality. And the thing that drove me even crazier is, and I love Bowler Jack, and I think the TV crew has been phenomenal this year, minus Harpring and Kennedy. It's just the other thing we're not going to talk about, but they're so much better. But the thing that I just was going to say, Bowler says he's only taken 3 shots. Yeah, because of the 6 opportunities in the paint. It was 5 times where it got stolen or it didn't turn out. It didn't work out. No more hypotheticals and no more Jazz media propaganda that is teaching Jazz fans falsehoods. I'm tired of it. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it. I can't. All right? Now, do I think Rudy Gobert is one of the most important players in the NBA? He's a top 15 guy. He just is. He just is. Anyone who disagrees is wrong. You're wrong. Rudy Gobert is one of the major reasons this Jazz team, if not the major reason this Jazz team has been a perennial all-star team or perennial playoff team for years. For years. All right? This Jazz team is as good as it is because Rudy Gobert is the best defensive player in the history of the NBA. He just is. He is unreal. There is no one like him ever. I mean, he's Dikembe Mutombo, but he's, I guess maybe ever. You could argue for days about how good Rudy Gobert is and who's greater and who's not. But he's this modern day Dikembe Mutombo, but probably better. Probably better. Probably a better offensive player, if we're being honest, with his ability to roll and score at the rim and pass out of the pick and roll and all the things that he does. He's a really talented player. But we've got to just talk about reality. And reality is that Rudy Gobert is not a post player. He's just not. He just does not have that ability. It's not there. We're in the third contract. Okay? He is what he is. And he can get better at certain things. There's certain things he can improve. Like, he's improved at passing out of the roll, and it's fantastic. He finds open three-point shooters. Rudy Gobert's assist totals have gone up because he's a good passer. I think Rudy Gobert can shoot the three, honestly. I think that's something he can actually do. We know he can do a face-up jump shot. Now, if we want to talk about things Rudy can actually do, that's something I wouldn't mind seeing, like a free throw line jumper. But we just haven't seen it. And like a push shot, like Rashawn Holmes, go watch Rashawn Holmes. That's the shot that I have been waiting for years. It's just not there, though. It's just not. Go watch Rashawn Holmes film, guys. That's the shot. That's the shot. But it's just not there. He can make a free throw line jump shot. He just doesn't take it. There's been a couple times where you've seen it, and he just doesn't take it. The three-point shot I don't think is ever going to happen because Rudy Gobert, like we talked about, one of the most important things is his offensive rebound putbacks. If you have Rudy Gobert sitting in the corner, then that means you're not getting offensive rebounds. And I think that that's a give or take. You probably take, because look at this. You get 4 buckets on offensive putbacks because of that. 3 misses because of entry passes, which we know that should not happen. But then you've got you have the offensive putbacks, which is one of the things that makes Rudy Gobert so important and creates gravity and opens up shots for Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley. It's why they can get that floater. Like, it's why Mike Conley, who is like deteriorating before our eyes in terms of athleticism, can still be effective because he can get that floater shot up because of Rudy Gobert's gravity. He's so incredibly important. And that's why I think the three-point shot's just not going to happen, because I think the offensive rebound and Rudy Gobert playing in the pick and roll is just more important. Although I guess if you're going to have Rudy Gobert in the dunker spot, maybe you can just switch him over to the 3. But then again, dunker spot means he can get the offensive rebound. So it is what it is. It is what it is. The Jazz used to run a ton of like dribble handoffs with Rudy. They just don't do that very much anymore. And so, I don't know. I used to think that dribble handoff could be a situation where Rudy Gobert gets the dribble handoff and then turns and just like fires a 3. But the dribble handoff used to be something they used because they just didn't have enough shooting, and it was to create space. To be honest, I don't know why they don't run it a little more, because I think Rudy Gobert is good at that, and it can create a lot of opportunities. And it's another way to just get more pick and roll with Rudy. A dribble handoff into a pick and roll is a pretty good play. But the Jazz run the blender, and this blender has the top off, and it's just not been that great this season, guys. All right. That's all we got tonight. We're going to try to end this a little quicker to see how it goes. It's kind of an experimental night tonight, guys, but it was a nice win for the Utah Jazz. Was that too much? Probably too much, but we had to be honest, all right? We have to be honest with these things. Let's see. Let's give a shout out to our All-Stars tonight. These are the guys that make it happen. These are the guys that are part of the Blue Crew. Some of these guys haven't entered Blue Crew yet, but they're close. They're close. The Blue Crew is an elite crew, guys. It's an elite crew. Let's give a shout out to Christian House money to house. Tyson Price, price is right. Baby Elliott Matson. X marks the spot for Zintas. Member for 5. Oh, wait, no. Zintas is part of the Blue Crew, baby. Jordan the Goat Best Roll. Joshua Hansen, the Danish Destroyer. And one, Anton Warren. Ezekiel Rice-Sibe, the man from down under. JT Buckets Wardell. Austin R. Grant, editor extraordinaire. Eric C., the C stands for champion. Donald Schooley, schooling all of us. DW to CB. Darren Williams to Carlos Boozer. Jorge Arrizaga, mi amigo de abajo. Lee Christensen driving the lane. Patrick Kubo, the connoisseur. Robert Hall of Fame, and DW Jazz going all the way. It's a nice win for the Jazz. But they've got a game tomorrow, guys. So let's hope that they can continue. And I like the idea of Bojan Bogdanovic making every single 3 he takes. I think it's a good strategy, and I think that he can... Oh, no, Zintas, you're in the silver. That's okay. Eventually you'll join the Blue Crew. That's all we're going to do with that joke. DeHaas? Oh, Christian DeHaas. I've been calling you DeHouse because we say house money, but it's DeHaas. All right, there we go, Christian. We got it. DeHaas. I'll try to remember that. I will try really hard. It's important to get the name right. All right, guys, like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're a Jazz fan, why aren't you already subscribed? Are you serious? Yes, Sintis, you're silver, but you know what? You're just more than that. All right? You're just everything, really, Zintis. You're just really, really everything for everyone. And you should always remember that, Zintis. Because X marks the spot. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Join the channel to support it. I appreciate it. The things are going great. I've been taking magnesium. I feel great. Which is a bad sign or a good sign, however you want to take it. But I feel pretty good, and it's a good sign for that NBA channel. I'll tell you that. Guys, like and subscribe. I'll talk to you